guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another movie review. Tonight this is the first in our monster week, so I thought I'd look at sort of three classic monster films, and tonight we're looking at the 1983 film Deadly Spawn. So let's have a little look at the edition. So here it is, guys. Here is the physical release of the Deadly Spawn limited edition 4K and Blu-ray. Unavailable here in the UK, so you have to buy it import. This is released by Synapse on 4K Blu-ray. Let's move that there. Yeah, so it's a lovely, beautiful edition. As you can see, it comes in a hardback sort of box, and it tells you about the content on the back. Very similar to sort of Arrow, Second Sight kind of looking things, if you will. So this is an American release of the film, but it is region free, I have been told, and it actually states on their website. So that's cool. So we won't waste any time. Let's get into the actual packaging, if we can. Just need to make a little slit along there. Does look like it has a J card. I do like the box though. It's got like a sort of cutout bit, which I really like. As you can see here, it's kind of cut out there, which makes it easier to move your thing. Yes, this is a J card. So we will store that inside the box, hopefully. And then we can have a proper look at the wonderful but very grotesque image of the Deadly Spawn. And there's the reverse. Amazing artwork. So yes, I do like this little thing, so it helps you to pull it out easier. So it's in a rigid hardback box. These are going to be the movies, I take it, in here. This is a slip case. This is quite common in America for them to release it with a slip case as well, with some gory, grotesque imagery from the movie. This is a 1980s film, but it's got a real 1950s B-movie feel about it, but with gore. So it's that sort of film. Very low budget. I think it was made for like 75,000 or something really silly. I love this artwork as well. That's really neat, really cool. Although it does look quite suggestive, doesn't it? But there we go. So open it up. So we have in here a set of art cards, which is really nice. So we'll have a look at those. This is a different kind of paper. I can't save that, so we're going to cut that and we'll go through those. So this looks like a picture of the crew. Really nice. And another picture on the reverse of the film. I like it that they're in black and white. I think that's really cool, really classy. Another great film about this film is all practical effects, and most of the budget of the film did go into the special effects, not the acting. So if that tells you something what the film's like, just be wary of that if you're thinking of buying it. It's not going to be the most well acted film, but it's probably going to be one of the most fun. I do own this on DVD on Vipco. Here we have like these special effects artists there. John Dodds is putting the finishing touches there. Very cool. I like that sort of thing. Really nice. And I like this, got like a little explanation on there what the actual picture is. Really cool. Lovely. So we've got a set of art cards. We have a catalogue from them with all the films that are available from them. So I will plumage through that in my own time. We have the disc on 4K. We have the disc on Blu-ray. And we have the alternative title, Return of the Aliens, Deadly Spawn, and reversible sort of artwork, which again is very cool. So we'll pop all that stuff back into the box. That's Trick or Treat there, which my lad picked up at the Horrorcon. Put the art cards in there, keeping them nice. It comes with a poster. I won't be able to show you the whole poster in this, just because it looks like it's going to be ginormous. And we have it here. Looks like it's in Japanese, this one here. A picture of the Deadly Spawn. And we turn it over, and we have this one, which is a really nice poster, which would be so cool on my wall if I enjoy the film so much. So maybe, just maybe, I might pin that into a frame at some point, who knows. So yeah, it comes with a wonderful, wonderful poster, and it also comes with a booklet, which we will have a look at. I'd not guarantee we're going to go through the whole thing, just in case there's any images that should not be shown on here. Like all these books, it goes through the cast and the crew of the film, which is wonderful. And we have sort of different images, and so I'm going to flick through this quick. Also, because I don't want to give too many spoilers, but I want you to see how in depth the book is. So we've got loads of pictures of the making of, and the building of the Spawn, how they actually built it. Amazing. Different sort of imagery here from sort of like all kinds of things that maybe have influenced the making of the film. And that's the copy of the poster I've got there. If you look there, it's really cool. And here is again the special effects guy there, John Dodds, not John Doe. And there's loads of images of the making of. Like I said, I'm dashing through it because I don't want to spoil it. So then we've got the scrapbook, which is various pictures and adverts and etc. Then we have an essay by Michael Gingold, Metamorphosis. And Metamorphosis, I believe, was supposed to have been a sequel to the film. I would like to get hold of that. So there's a little bit there about the so-called sequel, and that's the book there. So you get the book, a poster, the movies in 4K and on a Blu-ray, and the art cards all together in this wonderful, wonderful set of the Deadly Spawn. So it's a wonderful, wonderful edition for my collection. It's a limited edition, really, really lovely packaging and beautiful, beautiful artwork. But is there any special editions on the 4K disc? So here we are, guys, on the main menu for the Deadly Spawn. Your special features on here, you have various audio commentaries, some with the director and producer, and some with different editors and assistants on the film. We have Face Off, an interview with Elizabeth Marner Brooks, Return of the Spawning Ground, a visit with John Dodds and the Deadly Spawn, the Deadly Spawn, a comic prequel sampler, TV news clips, Take One, interview with editor Mark Harwood, original audition tapes, alternative opener sequence, behind the scenes footage, TV spots and still gallery. In your setup you have audio of theatrical mono and original mono. And that, guys, is the special features on the Deadly Spawn. Yes, there was loads, very much set out, very similar to an Arrow release. There's loads of sort of interviews, maybe a few documentaries, and there's also some audio commentaries. It's very, very cool. Let's get to the story. So this is a bit of a complicated one because this was made on a very, very small budget, and some of the names of the characters keep changing. Like there's it's based on two brothers, Charles and Pete, but Charles is also known as, they call him John at some point, and it's really, really quite confusing when they're talking about these lads. Anyway, we join these two lads at their home. Their mum and they're staying at the home with their mum and dad and their uncle and their aunt. Now, it starts in the morning when the mum and dad wake up and there's like no water or whatever. So the dad goes down to the cellar and starts investigating. But before this happens, at the beginning of the film, we see a meteorite land in this sort of like very fake background. It's very cool. And we see two campers, two lads out camping, and they go investigate the meteorite, and they both succumb to their end to the monster. And the monster seems to some bizarre way made its way to this house cellar. And that's when we meet, like I say, the family. And the dad goes down to the cellar to investigate the why they haven't got any sort of like hot water. And he succumbs to his very brutal end in the cellar to this creature. And then the mum gets up and she also goes investigating around. She can't see her husband or anything. And she goes down to the cellar to see him. And she succumbs to her end in a very gruesome way. And then we meet the two lads, Charles, or John, if you will, and Pete. Pete's the older of the brother, and he's sort of like a sort of scientist, sort of like in the making. He's sort of like studying at university. And the young lad is a monster horror movie freak fan, and he's into all these stuff where he dresses up and he sort of collects all paraphernalia of these sort of like monster films. And his room is sort of covered in posters. And we meet the aunt and uncle as well. The aunt and uncle think the mum and dad have gone out because they find a note on the fridge about an electrician coming to try and fix the electric and help with the sort of like electronics and the water in the house. So they think he's gone. So they carry on their sort of day preparing breakfast. And our electrician arrives and we don't really see him anymore. He goes down to the cellar and that's the last we see of him. And as the film sort of progresses, all these sort of bizarre things start happening. And the young lad, the younger of the brothers, goes down to the cellar and finds body parts and finds these little worm-like creatures which are offsprings from our spawn. And they are sort of like swimming around like little fishes like this. They're really, really strange. And then the older brother Pete's two friends arrive and they found a dead one of these things and they decide to dissect it and try to find out what it is. And then all crazy shit happens. And then it's a fight for survival with the aunts and the uncles and the two lads and all these sort of crazy things, and the friends all fighting to survive our deadly spawn, where the most of the film is all based in this one house, which is probably the one of the two negatives of the film. But we'll get to that now in the final verdict. As I said, there's two negatives to the film. I think one is because this could have opened to a much bigger, sort of wider kind of horror film, a bit like sort of Slugs, that kind of thing, where they could have gone to different households. We could have had these creatures sort of like going around. But that's not necessarily a negative because it becomes to a positive later in the film. But the other negative is it's way too short. It's an hour and 20 minutes and it moves so quick and it just sort of like it's over and you're thinking, oh no, you're just sort of getting into it. But it has a freaking awesome, brilliant ending, which I loved. I'm going to score this an amazing watch and give it a 9 out of 10. It was fantastic. Really, really cool. Now, I've seen this before. I do have it on DVD, on the Ripco DVD, and I haven't watched it since I got that Ripco DVD, which was 15 years ago or so, something like that. So I've not seen it for a long time, so it's great to revisit it. The pluses now of the film is it's got a fantastic ending and it is really, really well. It's done on a shoestring budget, really small budget. I'm bound to be wrong, but it's something like 75,000, and most of that has gone into the special effects. The special effects in this film are incredible, just not enough of them. Now, the 4K. The 4K, I'm going to score an excellent transfer and give it a 9 out of 10. Most of you would watch it and you would say, looks pretty poor. Now, this is done on a 16mm film. This film's filmed on a very small, like 16mm film. So the quality of the film that we've had before is shocking. Like the DVD looks awful. So this looks phenomenal on Blu-ray on 4K, sorry, compared to the DVD. And that's absolutely amazing. It looks really, really cool, and it's held its own. It still looks good today. Like I said to you, this sort of like, it's a 1980s film, but plays out like a 1950s film, but with gore, and the gore is phenomenal. The creature is incredible. It's a really, really cool looking monster. Now, I do believe there's a semi kind of sequel. I think it's called Metamorphosis or something like that. I don't have it. I will look out for it, but I believe there is a sort of similar kind of slightly based sequel to it. This has come off the back of Alien and films like that. This has been made around that sort of time, but on a shoestring budget. But it doesn't make the film awful. It's really, really cool. It's just a great B movie. There's so many things in there that I love. I love that the fact that the boy's name seems to change. There's one bit in the film when one of the older brother is climbed out onto the roof and he's shouting, but they forgot to almost turn the sound on, and you could just see him going. There's no sound coming from his mouth. All you can hear is the rain, and it's permanently raining. You've got a thunderstorm going on outside, but when you look outside, it doesn't look as bad as it is when you hear the sound. I love all of that. It's so cheesy. It's great. The creature looks like the effects of him is really, really cool. He appears to be sort of blind and sort of responds to sound and this sort of thing. And I'm just thinking this film could have been a phenomenal 10 out of 10 if they just expanded it a bit more. Like we do see one scene in the film where the aunt's gone to another friend or family's house where they're having this sort of like dinner party, and all these sort of bizarre things happen there, which is quite cool. And I thought this is the way to do it. Just expand it out to different areas. Just expand it, just so we get more deaths, because the deaths are so cool. And there is a few in there, but just not enough. And that's the only reason why it's dropped a point for me. Is just because I think the film could have been another 15 minutes longer and expanded out of that one kind of house. But I quite like it in a way that it's only in the one house. It gives it a bit of survival horror film sort of feel to it, and it's phenomenal. Really, really cool. I do highly recommend it, but just be prepared. To get this 4K, you're going to be paying absolute fortune for it. It's really expensive. There's only 5,000 copies made of this worldwide, of this Blu-ray. There is another Blu-ray available, but that's quite expensive too. It's about sort of £50-60, and that is region A locked. This one has the region B, region 3 Blu-ray, and obviously 4K, which is all region 3. There is the old Ripco DVD, which you can probably pick up for probably about a 10 to 15 quid around somewhere if you shop around for it. But there is also, if you shop around, a European version. I don't know if it's Spanish or Italian, that I've seen around online for about 20 quid. But the case and all the writing is in that language, but the film will be in English. So that could be well worth your visit if you can't justify paying a shitload of money for this film. But to me, it is worth every penny. It's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Definitely one of the best monster films ever made. Massive shout out to my lad. See you soon, guys.